Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Admiral Pegasus, and on today's show we're going to be talking about the Augment store and the new Augment hostiles that's also been released. But there's a lot to get through, so let's get cracking straight away. But first, if you'd actually like to smash the like button, if you do find this video informative, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So jumping straight in then. So as you can see, we've got the new Augment store, which is available from Ops 26. Once you've obviously completed the original Augment faction line, yeah, you might be a little bit beyond Ops 26 by the time you actually do complete that and actually gain access to this one. Currently, we have higher rep levels in here, but we'll discuss that shortly. But let's start with the actual loop. And here it is, a screenshot of the hostiles that you're going to have to be facing. So you've got hijacked ships of hostiles, then you've got a D7, and then you've got a DY200 class ship, which is your Botany Bay. So for those of you who remember the Botany Bay, that's what was originally released in the original Augment release back in 2019. But where are you going to find these? So where you're going to find these hostiles is going to be right here, which is between Dominion territory and Federation territory. It starts at a level 26 system and will go all the way up to a level 40 system as well. I need that ship repaired quickly. That's fine. So this is the second iteration of augments brought into the game, but we desperately needed it updated. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring a ship out to these particular systems. Now anything below level 40 and below, you will be able to get quick access to view the system just like this. Anything above it follows the protocol of deep space, so they're literally fog of war. Now you can see the ships flying around here, and luckily we've got all three types here on screen. We've got the Mayflower, the Legionary, and the D3. They are similar to the level 26 uncommon faction ships. So the Payflower, the Legionary, and the D3. For those of you who remember what the Payflower is, it was basically because the Mayflower was supposed to be one of the better ships out of the three of them, and it cost a bloody fortune to actually buy. Now you can probably get it as cheap as ships. In fact, it's nowhere as expensive as what the Enterprise E would probably cost you. Now, these hostiles obviously do come with their own set of challenges. They'll have an isolytic damage boost of 15% from the start of combat, and they also carry an apex barrier of 5,000. So remember, apex barrier at 10,000 basically means it's doubling your hull health. So this is roughly about a 50% increase to its hull health when actually in combat, and they are strong. So you are going to have to make sure you crew your ships accordingly. So potentially looking at officers with Apex Shred, Isolytic Defense, and also potentially going after Apex Barrier and, OLA's disappeared, having Apex Barrier yourself and also Isolytic Damage. But there are other officers that you can throw into the mix. I'm not going to give you loadouts or anything. It's up to you what you choose. So you got them particular types, you got hull repair, shield repair, and things like that. So there is a massive mix of officers that you can potentially have. I will, however, I don't know why he's still sat out in deep space, because I actually wanted him back home. I will show you one crew that I do particularly run, and there will be a reason why I run this particular set, which is the Max Loot crew. Obviously, there is another one that's very similar to Picard and the Enterprise E crew. So, but the one thing is, Picard gives me that isolytic damage as well. Also, don't not that one, this one. Don't forget, critical chance is also going to be a good one. So making sure that you've got like Hugh and Nurse Chapel below deck as well. But again, it's entirely up to you what crews you actually run for these ships. So now I'm going to recall the Sanctus here, because it should have actually come home before I started recording. Also, you're going to find that there are different ships available in here as well. So like I said, there was a D7. Now the D7 is going to be your chaser ship. I've got a battle log for this one, which is right here. We're going to have to jump into some battle logs here. This is your D7. Everyone remember the good old D7 from the original series. So you've got this ship. It's got the exact same abilities, isolated damage and apex barrier, but this comes with a unique ability called dilithium destabilization, which has got this as a 90% chance of killing you. Yes, it will pretty much kill you. However, if you check this screenshot out, this is one of the 2 times I've actually been lucky to actually beat it. And the first one was a Newton and obviously the 48, but I have also killed a level 50 with the Sanctus. Unknowingly to me, I actually killed it. So they can be killed, but yeah. Now, obviously at the time of recording, which is May 25, we do not have anything that can combat this ability at current. Now, I will say in this, because this bit's going to probably become redundant, there potentially will be a ship that can offset that ability. Now, if there is, I will do a separate video basically advertising this ability. But as of the recording of this, it's not there. So effectively, we have no way to combat this. You're going to have to take your chances. But it is a chaser. As soon as you enter the system, it will basically come after you. You get the usual warning. You need to retreat, get out of our territory. And then suddenly you're told you're being attacked by this hijacked D7. And it will come at you and it will kill you pretty much on sight. And the best way to show you how the battle log works for this particular ability is literally that. That's it. That's your battle log. It means they destabilized your warp core and you blew up. You didn't get a chance to activate any abilities. You didn't get a chance to fire a weapon. Yeah. So basically, if it comes around, you are screwed. So there's that. Then there is also the DY200 class, which is our Botany Bay. Remember, this was originally our best base raiding ship back in the day when it was first released, because it had a decent impulse speed, decent cargo, which in today's game is absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It's no longer the fastest ship. Jesus Christ, I can make a G5 ship go faster than this thing. So, and surveys were usually relatively quick. I don't know why I just went in the battle log. Again, this has got the same abilities as the ships themselves, but again, this has got that destabilization metric, but it's only a 30% chance. So you've got a hell of a better chance of killing these things. But just be aware, the higher level these things are, the stronger, the more chance you're not going to beat that 30%. It's going to actually get you. So as you can see at the top corner there, this is a level 41. There is a level 50, there's a level 60, and there's a level 70. There you go. There's the loot chart. This is what we want to be looking at. Right, so what you'll see from this chart then, in the middle set, that is the Botany Bay itself, there are 4 types of loot that this thing will drop. I'll drop the screenshot just briefly so you can actually see what I've got. These are splicers. They come in 4 different levels, which is common, uncommon, rare, and epic. The DY will drop all 4. All 4 in varying amounts. The amounts that you can see is because I've got a loot crew here. So go after these with a loot crew. You're gonna get more, and it's a good start when it comes to the epics and rares, but it's definitely good for the commons and the uncommons as well. But putting the screenshot back up, so as you can see then, the level 41 is got the base level is 20,000 common, 200 uncommon, 100 rare, and 50 epics. And they also come with a mega chest. So down comes the screenshot again, because we're not going to show you the mega chest here. Why we're not going to show you the mega chest? Well, that's because the game doesn't want to display it in that particular part. So we'll have to jump into items and actually show you the loot chest. All the hijacked ships from the Botany Bay to the D7 to the hostiles will drop this particular loot. This one here, the Champion's Trophy. Now the Botany Bay itself will drop 100 at level 40, and if we put the screenshot back up, we'll carry on now from here. The 50 will drop 200, there's 300, and then it is 500. These are your loot goblins. They're what you want to go after. Now, what they'll do is they'll appear in the systems at random. I think there is a timer. I don't know what that timer is. So basically, you will have to jump system to system to actually find them. So just make yourself aware of that one. Moving back over to the D7 then, just a quick look at its loot. If you are able to kill this, put it simply, it will give you double the loot than the hostiles will. We'll talk about the hostiles, which is closest to me, in just a minute. But on the far side is the D7, so that tells you what loot you're going to get. As you can see, that the level 60 plus ones do not drop any common splicers, because by then, really, you shouldn't be needing them anyway by the time you're actually at that particular level. But obviously, at the data release, we still need those, like, quite a lot, if you're not prepared to spend money, that is. So absolutely going after these as well. The amount of reputation that the hostiles drop as well is pretty consistent between the hostiles and the D7, exactly the same. The loot goblin, however, if you have noticed, it drops significantly more reputation, but like I said, coming round, it's not often they'll be there, and you won't be the only one going after them. If there's more than one of you in the system, I had a race with somebody today and I lost. Never mind. But the D7s do not drop any of these champion trophy chests, neither. So don't expect any of them. But the fact you're getting a significant amount of loot is saying something. Now, moving over to the hostiles end, so you can see what kind of loot that they drop. The chests that the trophy chests that they also deploy, it is significantly less on the trophies that they actually give you, but hey, that's what it is. The loot goblin's the one for the wit for everything, really. But the amount of loot rep that they give you is pretty standard. It jumps up 20 for every single level, and then you'll have a block, and then it jumps up by what? Yeah, then it starts jumping randomly, actually, looking at the further loot. But as you can see, there are specific points where the loot is significantly higher. Now, the first ones, the 26 up to 40, they will all drop common. However, the level 40 hostiles actually drop a significant amount of loot. Now, for me, I go after the 40s with my loot crew. So I'm going to be getting a lot. So the loot crew that I'm using with a maxed, I will say this, so you're not confusing it, maxed G4 rare. So that's a tier 12 level 60 Newton. I'm getting 5 times the loot. Bearing in mind, I've also got other researches to boost my loot. There's research in the faction store as well, which we'll mention in just a moment. The level 50 is also going to give you the higher levels of uncommons. So that's where so when you go from 42 to 50, you're going to get the uncommons. But you can see for yourself as well, the rares are exactly the same when they come in, and the epics as well. So basically 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s are your best hostiles to go after for the loot that you have. So that's the hostiles then. If I just so what you're going to do is you're going to bring all that loot that you've gathered, and you're going to come back into this faction store. Just before we do the faction store, I'll quickly mention this is the crew that I'm currently running when I go after the ship. So I've got some mitigation below deck. I've got one of the latest officers, not released from this month, it was last month, the last arc, Garrett, and I can't remember his name. I've also got Hugh below deck as well for his ability to repair so much of my hull. I can take him to T3, however I do not have the Xborg epic credits of 10,000 to actually upgrade him, so it's going to be a while before I can get that upgraded. But then on the bridge as well, I've got Janeway with her isolatic damage, and also her increasing my own shield mitigation by 6%. If I had synergy, then I'd have a bit more, but it's obviously going to be 6%. Then I've got Section 31 Giorgio using the Apex Shred against hostiles, so that's going to reduce some of the Apex barrier put out by these hostiles. But and then I've got Anorax himself giving me Apex Barrier. Again, it's only 2,000, so that's 20% extra hull really per hostile. But if you actually look at his ability, it says for 2 rounds when hit by a hostile, so every time I'm hit with a hostile weapon, it's going to increase by 2,000 every single time. So I can't remember how many weapons these hostiles have. I will put this a quick screenshot up announcing how many weapons they have, but that's how many weapons I'm going up against. That's how many times my Apex Barrier will increase to go to the maximum there. So, but again, like I said, what kind of loadout you will put on is entirely what you can run. Now, also when it comes to the hostiles, yes, they want you to punch at your level, but from my perspective, this is exactly like Zindi. They want you to punch at your level, but the problem is, it's not always going to be the benefit. At most, I can take on around 5 or 6 level 54s, a couple of 56s, but can I do the 58s? No. I'm up 60. Can I do the 60s? Can I as hell? I can't even do them. So, this thing, it as good as it is, and this is a tier 9, yeah. It will come down to what crew, and more specifically, below decks. So, will I be hitting the 60s? Not till I've got the Enterprise, and I've potentially got it up to tier 10 at least. So, we'll have to wait and see when that actually happens. But so, as with Cindy, do not be afraid to punch down. Me, I'm pretty much only going after the 40s for the common splices, which I'm going to need for what we're going through next, and also the uncommon as well. The rares and epics, if I can get them with the loot goblins for now, I'm absolutely fine. I do not need them just at the moment. So, but speaking of that then, let's jump into the faction store and see what we've got in there. So, obviously it was released going with the loop then, which I'll put in the top corner over the favours, because we'll talk about the favours in a bit. As you can see, then you kill your hostiles, you get your loot, and then you're going to bring them here to one of these particular 4 chests, the 3 on top line, and then the epic right there. You're going to bring them here to actually come in and get some reputation, and also some new Wraith credits, which will be in the rarity of the chest. So this is a common chest, so this means I'm going to be getting common Wraith credits. Now this is the cost for this one. We're not going to go through every single chest. You can check them out yourself. It's cheaper to do the one. It is cheaper to do the one, because I can tell you now, with my Newton, with a full loot crew, going after those level 40s, I'm taking, as I've already said, 5 times the loot off the ship, which means to get the 600,000, I only need to do around about 7 to 9, depending on the amount of loot each hostile drops, because it's not consistent. It does fluctuate. It is an average loot. So 1 chest a day, absolutely. It's on a 20-hour cooldown, so that's absolutely fine. As you can see, with the amount of splices I have, I've got enough for 1 more chest. However, right now, this is the most important chest. It is the most important chest. If you can grind it out and get the 4 million, go for it, because it is, to be honest, at the start, it is going to be the one you really are going to need. So, and we'll talk about why in just a moment. Then obviously you're going into the uncommon. Like I said, I'm not going through them all. I'll just go through these 2, just to prove that the credits actually do go with the common chest. Again, this is 70,000, 800,000. Work your way through it. But the cooldown time on this one is actually 2 days. So just bear that in mind. I'm guessing it will be, the cooldown times will also increase with the rares and epics as well. Now, I said the common spices are going to be your most important, because they are, well, they are. Because you're going to need this. This will bring you planetary charts, refresh tokens, assignment speedups, and trait XP, all aimed at the away teams. So I do believe I mentioned this in the away teams video I did. So yeah, 320. You're getting 400 Wraith credits from that common chest. Yeah, that's leaving you 80 for whatever else you need. But building up those credits as well. for the away teams as well, getting these planetary charts so you can actually do it. Yeah, it is a 20-hour cooldown as well. So, and the extra trait XP is also going to be valuable. Now, moving on, you're going to have some officer chests here. So you've got a common wraith and all the other. So just to finish off as well, the wraith credits that you're going to get also going to be required in these. So they are going to match all the values as well, and then there's a few other things. So that's basically the loop as it stands. So now you've got these particular chests. They're coming in with a new lock system. We'll just explain in a minute. But basically, they're going to have a pile of officers, and they're going to give you these choice tokens, which you can use to go after specific officers, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But if we come out, and then I'm going to throw this screenshot up, which has got the tier locks that you actually need. So as you can see with the common one, then it says tier 5, and what this is telling you is that you need to have 7 uncommon officers maxed at rank 5. They've got to be rank 5. They don't need to be maxed at 7. It's literally rank 5. So just bear that in mind. So when it comes to doing the uncommon chest, which is just there highlighted, again, as you can see, mine says 5 of 5. I need 10 rare officers at rank 5. 10 of them. So, and then as you can see, as you go on, the rares require 50 rares, and the epics require 60 epics to be at rank 5. That's a lot. So these are literally subject to the number of officers that you've got ranked up. And to be honest, some of the officers in them actually aren't particularly too bad. So by all means, there is the eye there. So go in, check them out, see what officers there, and whether or not it's worth you actually going after. But that's entirely your prerogative. We've got some trade downs as well. So we know how the trade down system works. We've got artifacts, skins. Oh, bloody hell. Skins, forbidden technology as well in the form of the Tantalus. The Tantalus forms back from the original Wraith credits as well, the commons, uncommons, rares and epics. So watch out for that one, but obviously it locks Avenger. Now I should actually mention the rep levels, because we do have the new rep levels. So what you'll have for this, and is you've got the bottom 4 is going to be the new reputation levels we've got. We've got Patron, Avenger, Superior and Exile, ranging from 10 million to 120 million reputation. As you can see as well from mine, I'm not even at Patreon yet, so yeah, a lot of this is not available to me at current. We do have this Ferengi chest as well, which sources the Prime Valor emblem. So yeah, it's a small trickle, but you know, take it as it is. So, but this one obviously requires the rare credits, so just bear that in mind. Now as well, there is, which I haven't got on my screen because I don't have this option, which is Dry Dock G. That is available. It requires 20 tokens. So there is a chest that will give you 20 tokens, and I believe it's got an 8-hour cooldown timer. And then there's a second chest which says that you need 1,000 of these tokens. So yeah, you need to collect that other chest frequently and quite a lot. So let's see, 5 20s to the 100. So you're looking around about 50 pulls to actually do that, and you can unlock Dry Dock G. Now, if you already have Dry Dock G, you're not going to see it. Hence the reason why I don't have it, because I have Dry Dock G. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, right, moving on then. So officers available as well is one of the new officers from this month, which is Awokim, or however you pronounce the word. I keep pronouncing it with a J, to be perfectly frank. Joaquim, as I call him. But you've got a full unlock available. You've got upgrades and also this affinity, which it will give you the tokens that you're going to need to actually promote him as well. As it turns out, the officers require special tokens to upgrade themselves. Yay! So fantastic. We'll have a look at a little bit more of that potentially on a live stream if I can get it to work properly. So, yep, you got a full unlock available as well. But again, that's not available to Superior. So until you reach Superior. So next up is the Choice Officers. This is what you're going to bring those Choice Officer credits in for. This is Anoraks, obviously. And yep, it's pretty simple. They've built in a slider already, so you can select as many as you want. So as you can see with this, I can already go... There we go. Be about right. So I can already pull 26 shards of Anoraks as it is. So the officers that they got on choice is obviously Anoraks. Yeah, that's good for your Apex barrier right now. Gwen DeMarco, which is obviously good for your PvP below decks. Janeway for your isolated damage. Hugh, which is your fantastic PvE officer for critical chance below deck. Suda, which is going to be repairing your hull as an officer and critical chance as a below deck officer. And then obviously you've got your 3 state officers in the form of hull breach, burning and morale respectively. So the best one out of them realistically is actually Harry Kim, because when if you go through the Nova Squadron building, getting Staffley Honours, and make sure you upgrade that, go through the morale section, there is the shield regeneration tab to basically regenerate shields every single round. So absolutely. Right, next up, when you reach Superior, you're going to have these Khan's Champions. Now, these Khan's Champions are going to be tough. So instead of actually looking at these, there you go. Here's the next screenshot, which is sourcing the hijacked insignia, which is the symbol at the bottom in that table. We'll talk about them in a minute because there's a few things that you need to be aware of. Just to point out, there is these 5. So obviously you've got a cadet, you've got ensign, you've got captain, you've got warlord, and then you've got nightmare. Now, the table at the bottom will tell you the hostiles, that's the bosses that's going to be in them. We've actually got the form of a mission boss. They are all explorers, and they are going to drop these in hijacked insignias. But they are extremely powerful. But if you look at the boxes near the top of it, you'll see that you've got a G3, G4, G5, G6, G6 Epic Plus. So basically G7. So your necessary grade, you should be able to do these. So like for me, it's saying G5. I'm only a level 60 player. I don't have the Enterprise D yet, but it's a 2.7 billion Explorer. I should be able to do that because I can take on a 5 billion Q's trial hostile. But obviously, these are going to have their own Apex and barrier and isolated damage as well. So watch out for those ones as well. I'm just looking at the table because obviously I've got it on the screen next to me. The amount of trophies you'll need to unlock Fleet Commander Khan is going to give you a number of tokens, number of missions. Okay, so it's just telling you how many how many times you need to do those particular missions to actually get enough of the trophies to unlock Fleet Commander Khan. The amount of trophies as well as to max Awokim. Yeah, a number of times that you need to do the missions and how many trophies it's going to pay out for that. So, as the box next to this, closer to me, says, repeat this loot as many times as you want. There are no cooldowns. It's literally going to come down to how much loot have you got, and it is those champion trophies that we've already mentioned that you'll get from the mega chest boxes of the hostiles. Again, the loot ones are going to be your best ones because they're going to give you 100. Standard hostiles will only give you 10. And as you can see for this warlord, it's going to cost you 9,000 to unlock. But if we actually quickly look at the cadet version just starting, it's only going to cost you 6,000. So I could, if I got Superior now, I could do this one. But so they're going to be paying out then as well these hijacked insignias, a rate of 500 to 6,000. And then where you're going to take them? Well, you're going to use them to buy Khan. Yes, it needs 200 shards to actually unlock as well. And as you can see, you're getting the affinities as well and some reputation. But this will basically help you unlock Khan. The more times you do this, like say at 500 a pop, yeah, 500, that's going to give you 2 chests. So just bear that in mind. And then also as well, we've got the upgrade Khan, which is his skill points. You can spend them in here as well to upgrade Khan's abilities in his Fleet Commander tab. Now, there is also another point that I need to make you acutely aware of when spending these hijack insignias, that you might want to consider saving them for this, which is going to be research. Now, we've already looked at the away team's research in the away team's video, but just to bring it, basically repeat what I've most likely said in that video. I can't remember what exactly I said. But it's like you've got this one here, which is asking you to provide 5,000 hijack insignias. So realistically, you need to do that cadet mission 10 times just to do this. So, or you could probably go after the ensign one if you actually at that particular level. 3 runs, jobs are good, and then you can get an extra assignment. So yeah, you will need them. They're primes, which we've not got access to yet. So jumping back into the faction store then. Didn't get that help in time. Right, so next up is then, obviously we've got the hailing frequency, blah, 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 and some avatars, yeah. Next up is going to be the favours. Now, you want to go after these favours because they are going to be pretty good, in all honesty. But I would recommend starting off with the 2s. You can see I've already got started there, which is the Mark of Khan and Augment Hunter. But you can see they're requiring those common Wraith credits. This is what I mean. If you can go after that 4 million, do. Because you will need them. So, as you can see then, as well, with the Mark of Khan, that's increasing the amount of splicers. If I can just get the I button up. And that will top out at level 5. So, that's going to give you a 100% increase. So, if you're going after those level 40s with the 14,000, basically it's going to give you the 28,000 loot. So you won't need to kill as many, but at least it will make it easier getting that 4 million. But the one thing is they'll get to a certain point where they're going to start requiring the uncommons, maybe even the rares as well. Augment Hunter is obviously increasing the amount of reputation that you get from the hostiles as well. So as you can see, I've got a 25% increase already. So, but at the end of the day, I'm not killing these hostiles very quick. So I'm not going to progress through the rep. There are players, even free-to-play players, who have already got to 60 million. And they did that on day 1. So hats off to them for that one. Next up, you've got some efficiency speed-ups and efficiencies for materials resources, and also decreasing the amount of time it'll take you to do various things in the form of research, buildings in the form of materials resources and speed, and then as well ship parts as well. So absolutely, if you want to go in here and get these ones, as you can see, they all unlock at Patron. All the ones that's grayed out, they all unlock at Patron. So getting yourself there, it will be ideal. It's like this one for ship parts would be ideal for me because it's for G5 and G6. But realistically, for the Enterprise D, I've got all the parts that I actually need now. My issue is going to be this one, is the materials. I still need a fair whack of materials. So again, once I've got to Patreon, I can unlock this and start working my way through it. But it's up to you what you want to go through. I do recommend the 2 that I've already said, is the Mark of Khan and the Augment Hunter. So that's it. That is the entire loop. I've tried to condense it as much as I can. The previous recording took me anywhere up to an hour to do. But there's a lot of waffling as well. But let me know what you think anyway in the comment section down below. Do you actually enjoy this loop despite its loop? I think it's actually a great loop. It's just time consuming and a lot of grinding to do. especially when you're only getting 400 Wraith credit, common credits for the amount that you've got to pay out for to begin with. It's unreal. So, and then going after the 4 million, well, good luck with that one. That's entirely up to you. But like, and then obviously the number of officers you've got, it's like, wow, we've got all these officers. Who do I choose? Your best ones. Your best ones in those particular areas. Okay, there are discords out there with officer choices. If you've got crew loadout officers within your alliance who can actually direct you in the right where to actually go for officers or what officers to use, go pester them, because I would recommend it. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope this video has been at least semi-informative. If it has, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification so you know when I release new videos. Until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.